than I did.
Yeah. I think everyone goes through that. We all feel like,
And then you grow up and you're like, everybody.
Everyone is screwed.
Yeah.
Like, we're all in therapy.
Yeah.
So wait, so you had, huge Latin hits, but then you moved away from Latin music world. Now you're kind of back. You said a couple years ago you're now back. So is it does it feel good? Because those are your roots, and it's kind of, I feel like, something that's super special about you too. Like, because you can do all these different things in different genres, but it is something I get excited about seeing whenever you perform. I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Right.
Like, and it's going to be beautiful and passionate, and I feel like that's what Latin music kind of brings to the table a lot of times, is like passion and vulnerability and all of that. And so was it exciting to kind of make this album like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think like at the beginning, I was so almost, after Havana, for example, which Havana came about in such an organic way. And then after, when that had a lot of success, I felt like when I would go in with kind of like American producers and writers, they were just like, here's Havana version 5, and here's Havana version 6.
Since you've been gone 2.0, they'd always try and give me that. Yeah.
Right.
It was super fun.
Yeah, and it's like, this is very obvious, first of all. And two, I felt like it just felt not authentic. It felt like they were kind of putting me...
You're chasing it.
...in this box, and chasing it and putting me in this box because it was successful. And so I was like, I think subconsciously I was like, I don't want to do that. And then I think this album came around, and in working with Ricky Reed and Scott Harris, Ricky introduced me to... like this man named Cheche and this writer named Edgar Barrera, and they're like actually like Latin. One is from Argentina and one is from Mexico, and so actually being in those sessions and being able to be like, okay, what kind of songs will we write today? And then me pulling up a playlist of like Alejandro Fernandez, Alejandro Sanz, Celia Cruz, and like,
it's inspiring.
Yeah, and for other people to be like, oh yeah, and did you ever hear that one? Like, it just made it, and be able to speak Spanish in the studio. And
it felt authentic.
It felt authentic. It didn't feel like somebody was just kind of like money grab vibes.
Yeah,
like
this was a hit, so
totally. I was like, so long, I was like, this doesn't feel right. And now I think it organically went to a place where I was like, oh, this feels right for me. This feels like I'm, getting to speak my first language in the studio. I'm getting to like